Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to mwrbuildingandfence.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and Truck Month is back. We have absolutely gigantic savings right now at Koppel. They are offering $12,500 off on select new pickups. That is not a mistake. You heard right. $12,500 off list price right now on select new pickups. Those discounted units, though, will not last long. These are all manager specials. You have to come in now, so hurry in down 144th Street or shop online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. Stock number G356093 must trade.
Whether you like fishing together or fishing to get away, for the thrill of reeling in a big one, or just going out to have a good time, on the banks of your local pond, at a bend in a river, or on one of our many lakes and reservoirs, you'll always find the perfect place to cast a line, here, beneath Nebraska skies. Start planning your next fishing adventure today at letsfishnebraska.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Bill Bush here for Hefty Seed Company, who wants you to know about their summer meeting on Wednesday, August 21st. You know how deeply I care about ag, so I'm locked into these topics for the meeting, including input costs for the 2025 growing season, weed control, fertility, seed traits, new varieties, herbicide, and crop protection pricing, and all industry news. RSVP today, heftyseed.com/store meetings, or call 402-646-2040. It's the Hefty Agronomy Meeting at Harvest Hall at Seward County Fairground on Wednesday, August 21st from 1 to 2:30 with lunch at 12:30. Free lunch. Don't miss it.
The Link Grill, Draft, and Crafts is your spot in Southeast Lincoln for great food and drink. They're serving new menu items and a killer craft cocktail menu with your favorite draft beers. You'll love their pizza and new entree options. It's a great place to watch any live events, and they have music bingo every month. They have an aggressive loyalty program that rewards fans with 7% back on all purchases. Home of the Nebraska Power Hour every night from 8 to 9 p.m. Order online at thelnkgrill.com or stop in at 84th and Highway 2 today.
Hey guys, it's your girl Jordan from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Have an anniversary coming up? I've got you covered. Celebrate your love with the timeless elegance of jewelry. This anniversary, give the gift of sapphires, emeralds, rubies, or gold. Find the perfect piece that reflects the beauty and depth of your commitment. Whether it's your first anniversary or your 50th, surprise your loved one with a gem as beautiful and rare as she is. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mainly sunny skies and warmer temperatures with the high around 88. Tonight, a chance of showers and thunderstorms with the low around 66. And tomorrow, a continued chance of showers and storms, otherwise partly sunny, with the high around 79. I'm meteorologist Kyle Kleck for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Play ball! Looking for the ultimate change-up from the typical family nights? How about a Grand Slam good time with friends and coworkers? Then unleash the fun at Haymarket Park with an action-packed, thrilling season of Salt Dogs baseball. Choose from 50 home games now through August with daily and weekly specials your whole pack can enjoy, including group discounts. Don't miss out on the magic and the excitement.
Strike three, you're out!
Visit saltdogs.com to reserve your tickets today. Unleash the fun.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Old School with DP and J.
Can Nebraska have a player-led locker room in year 2 under Matt Rule?
I think it could be in year 2. I always say this: we had great captains every year I was here, but I always say some of our best leaders weren't necessarily our captains. So I think when you have that, that's a player-led team. So it doesn't matter how old the quarterback is.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. It's time to go one-on-one with DP. Coming at you live from the Koppel Chevrolet GMC studios. Here is your host, Derek Pearson. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It is Wednesday, and we want to spend some time covering the stories behind the Olympics are always more interesting because it takes us in the corners of sports that we don't always get to. And to have somebody like Dave Turcotte be able to break down for you from a different perspective, a different vantage, what's going on and kind of what the future of it is. Because I did want to ask him about the women's game, and then I'm also curious as to why Turk isn't coaching, because it just seems like a decent fit. But Harrison Arns is with me here currently. You can text in questions 402-464-5685. Starter Hammond text line. Lots to talk about in the space that they're in. Shout out to the women's basketball team. They had a really good afternoon against Nigeria. It's also a curiosity that so many of these international teams have players who compete so well against the United States teams. It makes you wonder, well, wait a minute, why aren't they famous? Like, why aren't they playing in the WNBA? There was a young lady from Nigeria who was getting bucket after bucket, and no matter who they rotated against her, they couldn't do anything with her. It happened with South Sudan, where you try to figure out how many of these players, just aren't getting NBA run.
It's like they need what the NBA had with the Greg Popovich. They need a WNBA coach to go to some of these foreign countries and start picking out some talent. I think that's what we're learning in these Olympics, is that exactly what you said, some of these girls in these other countries that are showing out, like, they're given reason to go out there and start scouting the same way Popovich did when he took his trips to Europe, start grabbing guys over there. I think we'll probably see that trend here in the WNBA. And speaking of which, we got the expert hopping in here as well. Let's bring him in. Dave Turcotte joining the stream with us on one-on-one. Turcotte, we got you in there. We got DP in as well, and we do got Royals later. But 402-464-5685, you guys are all welcome to join in. Turcotte, how's it going on this Wednesday night, man?
It is a terrible, terrible day. Terrible.
Dark.
Terrible week in the world of basketball in Canada. Tragedy has occurred. We're a little bit down and heartbroken about it. It was a big year of big expectations, but just one of those days where guys had an off day at the exact wrong day, But
Turk, it can't be. Here's
losing to France, of course.
Yeah, but Turk, I mean, here's kind of where I land with that. The fact that you can be disappointed that it didn't go top notch is a statement that you've changed the standard, you've changed the North Star, you've kind of changed the vision, because you didn't have the optics to say we belong in the conversation of the final four teams in the world at the Olympics before now. And now it not only stings because you could actually see it, but you could taste it. But Canada should be proud. You've put yourself.
Oh, we're proud of the guys. I mean, we're proud of the guys. In fact, it's funny. I think what makes it tougher is that we did a friendly with France before and handled them pretty good. And our guards and our backcourt pressure made life miserable for France, and they really struggled with that. Which they still struggled during the game a lot of the part too. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, so make no mistake, we're disappointed, but so grateful to Shea and Jamal Murray, Kelly Olynyk, RJ Barrett and Lou Dort, OKC. I mean, just to name the first 5 that come to mind, and Powell from the Mavericks. These are guys that put a lot of work, took a lot of personal risk. Injuries to these guys in the Olympics could be devastating economically for them. And so, yeah, absolutely disappointed in the way that it goes, but really proud of this team, really grateful to these guys, and obviously proud, of Canada generally and where we're going. And we're headed in the right direction, DP. You're 100% right. But we really felt like, and maybe that's part of the issue. Like this is, and I remember having this conversation with Lou Dort. I was talking to Lou, and I just said, "Hey, Lou, you got to be ready, because I'll tell you right now." And this was prophetic in the negative for us, right? And I told him in the Olympics, your stars and your big guys that everyone's used to seeing, it's like imagine playing the Super Bowl 4 days in a row, okay? And the adjustments people make. So in your first game, second game, maybe your third game, your starters are your starters. They're your stars. They're going to get your points. They're going to get you where you got to go. But then teams make adjustments. And so France was watching Canada, just really we were perfect in our opening pool, right? We beat everybody. We beat Australia, beat, all the good teams. Greece is a great team. They had Giannis, and we beat them pretty solid. And we did it with defensive pressure for the most part. So France made a tremendous adjustment. They changed their starting lineup. And what I told Lou was, I said, you watch on the third or the fourth game, and it's usually the fourth game, which this one was. It is not your stars. It's who's that sixth man, seventh man on the team, the guy that's being overlooked in the scouting report. Somebody has to, quote unquote, come out of nowhere and make plays for you to get into that fifth game, the medal round game. That's always the key. And what happened with Canada was we made no adjustments to the way we played the game from game 1 to game 4. Okay. France did. They took one big out of the lineup. Like Rudy didn't even, I don't think he started, or he hardly played at all. Rudy Gobert.
Well, neither did Fournier. So it's like, wow.
Yeah. But they put in this other guy that was a 3-point specialist, Cormier or whatever. I forget his name, starts with a C. But anyway, he comes in that first quarter, and he hits 3 threes. And our team's going like, we didn't prepare for this. Who is this guy? So half the time you get that first shot, somebody makes a 3 and it's like, oh, okay, whatever. Then the guy's, now he hits a second 3, and now momentum shifted. I mean, come on, we were down 20 in the first half. Now we chipped away and got back to 10, but that's the problem, right? When you're back on your heels and you're fighting and clawing, every single shot that you don't make feels like it's an end of the game and it's the end of the world. Like the pressure to make every shot and to claw first of all, get it to 10, then get it to 7, get it to 5. Well, we almost got there, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was amazing. But, when you just get knocked down that hard, that's a long way to dig yourself out of. And, even Wemby didn't do that much damage. I mean, I think he had 11 points.
No, he had 7.
So they brought in these 2 guys that are role players that nobody's talking about, and they threw them in the lineup because France basically said this: the last time we played them with our existing starting 5, they smoked us, and they'll smoke us again. And they said we have to make an adjustment. So here we go in our 4th Super Bowl, right? Because every game is one and done, right? Mm-hmm. It's like playing in the NCAA tournament. Every game's one and done. They had film. Our team didn't adjust. Their team did adjust. And by the time we figured out what was going on, they had a 3-point guy that was killing it. He was feeling it. They're making their threes. They got that big beast, great player. There were 2 great post players that were nowhere near Wemby's height, but they absolutely manhandled our guys. And they just went, and I can see the coach just telling them, you got to go down there and wreak havoc on the boards. You got to post up. You got to attack the rim, make them foul you. They don't have a lot of depth up front. And so France made a great adjustment. Those two, and I'm going to say this with all due respect, those 2 nobodies that nobody heard about, but they all knew they were somebodies, and they sure as hell knew they were someone. They stepped up and made plays, and the next thing you know, we're going like, what the hell happened? The game is over, and our Olympics is done, And so that's why it's crushing, but a lot of respect to France, man. But that's the Olympics and how it's different than playing college. It's different than playing in the pros and the NBA. It's all different, and so it's been an amazing tournament to watch. Unbelievable basketball, by the way,
Turk, can I ask that the evolution of Olympic basketball it's fluid, and that making the Final Four in the Olympics is different now than it was in 1984, the last time Canada made that run. That it's different now. They're
Yeah.
different. They're different nations of priority, different caliber of player. So, how big of a step is this? One, for Canada, because you're in the conversation again. If you had made the Final Four, nobody would be surprised, and you could be proud of it. But being in the Great Eight is not an awful thing, and it's a pretty cool statement to be true. But how has the game evolved? How is it differently? Because I'm not sure that them getting to the 8 now isn't more impressive than making the 4 in 1984.
Well, the levels are all kind of relative, right?
Yeah.
I mean, but remember, and the reason it was different in 84, it was college players. There were no NBA players, right? It would have been awesome for me to play against like Dr. J in 1984. That would have been fun. That would have been fun. But it's always the same though. Like people always think when you try to compare eras, it's really hard to do that. But the game then was different too, though. The international game then in the 80s was more like it was with the Detroit Pistons in the NBA mid 80s to late 90s when Detroit was making their run, the 87 through 92 teams, right? When when the Detroit Pistons won when it was just physical and brutal and, like in Bird and Magic's last era when the Pistons kind of took over, that was kind of how it was in the mid 80s. The international basketball was way more physical. In fact, I saw a lot of quote unquote soccer fouls out there in every game. You'll see someone's running on the fast break and a player just literally comes down and runs next to him and hip checks him. And they call the foul, but that's a soccer play, right? Doing that. And they go, oh yeah, okay, that's not big contact. So the game has changed in the sense that there's more skill now. Back then it was more physical. Okay. But in the end, it's still the same thing. Like we back then always felt like, remember, Canada really wasn't even playing in the basketball world in the 60s. Like we had a team and we weren't out there trying to win championships. They had no budget for it. The team didn't really travel. So it was more like a glorified, it was a national team, but there was no expectations at all. The expectations began for the first time in 1976 when we hosted Montreal. Then it was like, well, gee, I guess we're gonna be the home team. We better do the best we can to put a decent team on the floor. That's when basketball for Canada starts. But for the rest of the world, I think and again, the NBA, I think, tries to take too much credit for it, though it gets a lot of the credit. But there were a couple of great European players that came into the league. Marshall Lunas at Golden State, Drazen Petrovic from Yugoslavia. Lots of bigs came from Europe over, Arvydas Sabonis. When people saw, I'll tell you right now, to this day, the best big man I've ever seen, Arvydas Sabonis. He absolutely destroyed David Robertson, destroyed Patrick Ewing. I mean, there were guys in Europe that were playing for real. And I think once you get out of the 80s and into the 90s, that's when you see the NBA and the scouts and the players and the international game kind of start. Because remember, in 88, I think it was the Russians that beat. In 88 in Korea, where I was, I think it was Yugoslavia and Russia were medal contenders. The USA didn't win. And that's when they decided, okay, we're bringing the big guns in 92, right?
Right.
So, but in 1984 to 1988, it was a dramatic increase in the level of international play, and I think I think a lot of it happened even post the boycott in Russia in 1980. You just saw Europe fell in love with the game, but because they were playing in their own kind of version out there, it was so heavily influenced by soccer that it played more on spacing and more physicality in some ways, physicality away from the ball, but less physicality around the rim. Because remember, in international basketball, this is a funny dynamic. In the NBA, once the ball touches the rim, you can't touch it, right? So you have to make the block before the ball gets there, before they get to the rim, right? Well, in Europe, you can play the ball live off the rim. So as soon as it touches the rim, it's a live ball, and you can smack it out of there. I actually think it's more exciting than a block shot a lot of times, right? Because you're seeing these guys come out of nowhere, weak side, and scoop that ball out and take a basket away. I think it's pretty cool. So, I know that's a long answer to a relatively short question, but
no, but that's why I asked it, because I know
it's like the game. So I would say it's. I don't want to put any more pressure or accountability or responsibility. It was our job in 84 and in 88 to do the best. We should have been medal contenders. And in my team, we came 6th overall, and that was a disappointment. one game in '88 that I wish we had done better at, that would have bumped us into the medal round had we won. And we had opportunities to do that, and we didn't, right? Same thing here. And it's the same thing. If you come out flat at the wrong time, or you don't make the adjustments that, quickly enough, either to your starting lineups or as the game goes, that's just how good the game is now. And I think it's just going to get better and better. And we're already talking, okay, how would we, there wouldn't be many changes to the roster, but how would we do things differently? Who would we play? That's the beautiful thing about it. You better bring your A game. And I'll segue into the next question, I think, which is still to this day. And DP, you and I talked about this before, and Harrison and I talked about this. Look at even Team USA. Some guys are playing great, no question. But there are other guys that are having a hard time when they, like Steph Curry is having a hard time because I don't have the ball all the time. The whole offense isn't being run through me. This international style of play where the ball just has to flow, and they can decide, you know what? We're going to live with Anthony Edwards taking all the 3-pointers. We're going to make sure KD doesn't go off, or we're going to make sure Steph doesn't go off, and we're going to zone and do all these weird back-end things. And for a lot of Team USA, it's like it's hard to adjust, right? So I think that's awesome. But it's just a different style of play, and the referees obviously are giving no love whatsoever to USA over there. It's like, hey, you're not getting any superstar calls over here. In fact, we'll probably call it the other way, right? So it's going to be fun. I mean, it's even though I'm brokenhearted about, for these players and for this young group of tremendous young men, I'm still watching every freaking minute of every game that's coming, because it's going to be some great basketball. Ironically, though, here's our victory for Canada, though. So Germany is coached by my former teammate, Gordy Herbert, excuse me. And Gordy's over there coaching. He played with me. Gordy was on the 1984 team, played with him one more year after that. And then he took off and went to Germany, played professionally over there, and then started coaching in Germany. And now he's the coach of their national team. And he just won, the world championship 2 years ago. Now he's in the Final Four for the Olympics for Germany with great players. And so we got one Canadian that's in there that we're rooting for now. So now I guess I have to go for Germany to root for Gordy.
You still live in America, Turk. Like I do. Come on, bro. Give some love.
I'm the reason everybody else is in America. I'm the Joel Embiid of this conference. I'm just here for the money, dog. I'm here for the money.
Hey, I want to take a break and reset, but when I come back, I want to ask you about the women's game. The men's game, the evolution of the next version of it will be based on development. And so I want to ask about that, but I want to ask you about the women's game and what is it that makes it so intriguing? Which game is truer? True basketball. And that's always the sticky wicket in figuring out how you define true basketball. But watching the women's game, technically it may be better. So we'll talk about those things when we come back. One-on-one with David Turcotte.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store. You're listening to One-on-One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The Electrical Workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Hey, Nebraska football fans, it's defensive lineman Ty Robinson, and I've got a winning play for you with Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical. Team up with Action and install a new Bradford white water heater in your home. And if we win the conference championship this season, you'll get a full refund. Don't fumble this opportunity. Sack your old water heater this season and score big with Action. Visit actionlincoln.com/Huskers to learn more.
Promotion valid for a limited time. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
If your car has sent you to the sidelines, Eustace Body Shop can help. With gold-class certified technicians, OEM parts, and free loaner cars, Eustace Body Shop is your best choice this Husker season. And with 6 locations across central and eastern Nebraska, we've got you covered, whether you're rooting at home or you're headed to Memorial Stadium. Get a free online quote at EustaceBodyShop.com, and let's get you back in the game.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
This is Bree Fansteel, local race car driver. Join me and James Rowland every Sunday at 7 p.m. for The Finish Line, where we discuss off-road, on-road, and sometimes next-to-the-road racing on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey guys, it's your girl Jordan from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Have an anniversary coming up? I've got you covered. Celebrate your love with the timeless elegance of jewelry. This anniversary, give the gift of sapphires, emeralds, rubies, or gold. Find the perfect piece that reflects the beauty and depth of your commitment. Whether it's your first anniversary or your 50th, surprise your loved one with a gem as beautiful and rare as she is. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Are you ready to join a family-owned local company that values innovation, integrity, and excellence? Look no further than Lincoln Industries. They're hiring for first and third shift production roles, as well as multiple engineering and sales positions. Whether you're an engineer ready to design groundbreaking solutions or a sales professional eager to connect with clients, they've got a place for you. Come join their family. Visit www.lincolnindustries.com for more information. At Fairway Meat Market, your family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now, through August 11th, enjoy USDA Choice Whole Ribeye Loin for $10.99 per pound. All natural thick-cut Iowa chops for $1.99 per pound. Hand-cut extra meaty loin back ribs for $3.99 per pound. And Dungeness crab clusters for $19.99 per pound. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Whether you like fishing together or fishing to get away, for the thrill of reeling in a big one, or just going out to have a good time, on the banks of your local pond, at a bend in a river, or on one of our many lakes and reservoirs, you'll always find the perfect place to cast a line. Here, beneath Nebraska skies. Start planning your next fishing adventure today at letsfishnebraska.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
How about the top or game? But I think week 2, Colorado, of course. You know, you got prime time coming in, and you want to shut him up because if he comes into Lincoln and figures out a way to get a win, you will never hear the end of it. And then I think week 9, Ohio State. Who are we as a football team at that point? But if we go in there and actually compete and give ourselves an opportunity to win, now you got to be talking about us. We got to be in the contention. Week 12, you come back, you're at USC. But then I think week 14 at Iowa, drop the Iowa game. That's a bad look because that's the last taste that you get in your mouth before the bowl game.
You're listening to One-on-One with DP, sponsored by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, One-on-One on a Wednesday. Dave Turcotte, Olympian, Hooper, all-around good dude, great dad, badass attorney, now radio celebrity. Let's add all that to the name. That is Dave Turcotte. Turk, it's interesting times, right? That as Canada evolves, Team USA has had to evolve, even in how it plays, how it's orchestrated, how it's put together, how it's managed. The game evolves. And you said that when players from Team USA, who are some of the best on the planet, struggle at the international game and the Olympic game specifically, what is it that's causing the problem, Turk, and for some of the players from Team USA?
Hey guys, it's your girl.
Okay, so the USA is different in that they're the USA. I mean, I would say they have 9 of the best players in the entire tournament all on one team.
Mm-hmm.
The only players that I would say are on other teams that are better than them are Nikola Jokic, of course, from Serbia, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander from Canada, and we'll just throw in one other random wild card player from any other team you want after every other team after that, and then just to give someone the benefit of the doubt, which I can't name anyone right now. But what that means is every single one of those players on Team USA is the man on their NBA team. The entire offense runs through them. It's geared to feature them. They know when the shots, like you hear in the NBA, that phrase, hey, like what I always hear this one most in terms of like Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard just gets to his spots. Like he knows where he's going. I'm getting my shot there. Deep, and so that's just not possible in this kind of international game because that's not how it's refereed. That's not how it's played, right? So, but the other thing is, like even Steph, as great a shooter as he is, and as I fancied myself a bit of a shooter as well. If you've got that green light, every time I touch the ball, I'm getting mine. Like I know I'm looking for my shot. I'm make the play is for me. I know I'm shooting, and you're shooting instantly, intuitively, with confidence. That green light confidence is like nothing else in the world. Take that away, and now I'm the greatest shooter in the world. Steph Curry. I'll say I'm third best in the world. I'll give someone else the benefit of that. We'll say Steph Curry's in there. He's the best shooter in the world, and now he's going like. Is now my shot? Is now my time? It doesn't mean he lacks confidence, but in the normal flow of Team USA offense, Steph and everybody else is wary of, hey, these are other all-stars. These are other legends. These are other Hall of Famers. And so figuring out that pecking order and when it's your spot, your shot to shoot, it gets a little more difficult. If they played together for another month and a half, it would be different, but they just have to develop that flow. So just now that they're all cognizant of none of them can win it on their own. And by the way, for Team USA, this is why LeBron is such a great leader, because the greatest of all time in terms of playing in today's game is there being as unselfish as anybody, playing D harder than anyone, chase down blocks, the whole bit, vintage LeBron. So he's a great role model for them to get them thinking as a team. So that's their biggest problem. It's not anything about the game. They're the best players in the world. But how to play with each other and having that confidence to know this is when my shot is. Now, contrast that with, and I think I told you about this 3 or 4 shows ago before the Olympics, I said the most deadly player on that team is going to be KD. And KD by himself, like that one game, he came in, I think game 2, the game was almost close between Serbia, and he scores 20 straight points and is literally perfect from the floor. Because look at KD's game. He doesn't go down there and dribble and screw around. It's catch, I'm open, shot, catch, boom, going to the basket, catch, little leaner in the lane. He is such a beautiful game because this is the difference with international basketball. This whole one-on-one thing where I get to dribble the ball and pound the ball and go, that's the thing that NBA rules favor. NBA rules favor a particular style of play that's one-on-one, mano-a-mano, because people they don't want to see great help defense, because if I beat you on the outside, the fans don't want to see defense, which is actually great defense, where all that help comes immediately to double the ball and trap you, and now there's no dunking down the middle of the lane. But when if you look at the extreme example of NBA defense, look at an NBA All-Star game. Oh, you beat your man, now it's a wide open dunk. You beat your, now that's too far going the other direction, but somewhere in the middle of that in an Olympic or a college style of play is kind of NBA defense. It's built for entertainment and the product that the NBA is selling around the world. Okay. That doesn't mean the players aren't the greatest players in the world. They are. The difference with the international play, though, is you can shift defenses to play zones, to double one player, to take one player completely out. You can ignore players and totally, which would be illegal defense calls in the NBA, you know, to say, okay, you know what, we don't want KD shooting. We'll live with our stats for LeBron to shoot threes or AD to shoot threes. And you can make adjustments in the international game that you can't in the pro game. So I would say that, you know, and international players that play in the NBA, well, they grew up playing FIBA, like Luka, Jokic, everyone that's playing in the Final Four, Germany, Germany, Serbia, France, USA, everybody except USA grew up playing FIBA rules, international rules. So this, and they all grew up playing soccer, by the way, soccer. Yeah. So they get playing in space. So that's why you see that Golden State style, which was heavily influenced, San Antonio, heavily influenced by European play. And that ball just sails, that ball moves. There is no benefit to sitting there dribbling, trying to do your double crossovers and quote unquote break somebody's ankles. Because here, that's a stupid play that just runs you into help defense. And then now you got no place to go, right? So European basketball is more about playing in space, getting open, catch and shoot, drive to the basket, zip it out to a corner, create offense through movement. Don't create offense through individual play. So that's the difference. But still, it's just a different way to play the game. I love the NBA game. It's great. It highlights individual stuff. But you can see why Jokic, like intellectual basketball IQ, to play a FIBA Olympic style game is harder than the NBA. Like if you're just a scoring machine phenom that only knows how to play one-on-one, you're going to do great in the NBA. You won't do so well in Europe. Okay. But if you're the reverse, like Luka coming up from Europe that knows how to play that style of play, going to adjust to just play one. Oh, I only got to beat my own man. That's it. Well, that's easy, right? That's what Luka says when he says, right, it's easy to score in the NBA. So it's a different style. I'm not going to say better or worse, but the purist in me says, you're a pro. I should be able to guard you any way I want. Zone, man, people throwing stuff at you from the stands. Who cares? Defense is defense. If you're a pro, you should be able to make long shots, make mid-range shots. You should be able to go to the basket. You should be able to play one-on-one and beat your man. Pros don't need to think about what defense is being played against them. They can score under any circumstance. And so for that reason, the basketball purist in me says, I like the FIBA style of play as the true representation of basketball, because there's no artificial rules to design it to make a better TV entertainment product. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So in that, how long would it take for NBA coaches and players to pull some of that international style play into the NBA for those special moments, especially playoffs, where series play sort of matters and you need to be able to attack players in a different way?
I think you're seeing it already. I mean, first of all, look at the draft this year. Really young, and half of the lottery is European players. And if you look at, look at the great, like Wemby, and in fact, it was hilarious. In our second game against Australia, you've got half the starting lineup for the OKC Thunder on the floor, right? Between Canada, and Australia.
Yeah.
You're seeing NBA games play differently now. And first of all, you're seeing, like, I haven't seen an illegal defense call made in a long time, though players still get there, right? Players still, the refs are kind of letting it go more and more, right?
Yeah.
But I still think the overall style of play, like there's two in the US for marketing dollars and for what pays for revenue, the guy that's getting 35 a game in terms of points, and the way you make it to the league, by the way, is by what they, you got to be able to create your own shot. Well, that means you got to be a one-on-one scorer, right? And so I think you're seeing the game shift. You're seeing people appreciate guys that are pure facilitators and can score and move. Like Josh Giddey's a great example of that. He can score it, but he's a creator and a facilitator. There's more of a well-rounded game that way. I think you're already seeing it seep its way into the league, and it's impacting the way NBA teams play, because now that you've seen the Joker, right? Now that you've seen Luka Doncic, can you imagine what Luka would have done with one more great swingman 3-4 scorer that could help him? I mean, like the European influence is coming, because great you throw in the athletic ability of the American style player with European basketball IQ. Like if everyone played like LeBron, how good would basketball be in the USA? It'd be off the charts, it'd be untouchable. So I think it's a natural collision for two great styles of play. and I think we'll all be better off for it. And then I hope in the end, the NBA loses the entertainment rules, and then it's just pure basketball. Be a pro and score against whatever you got to score against.
Yeah, we kind of hope that all styles of play are welcome, and then it becomes an actual chess match of evolving between basketball IQ versus play call, right? The knowing the difference between the two, that there are plays that are run, and then there's basketball being played with high IQ. We make if this, then that. I think the women's game, and I was having this conversation on a show earlier, that I think the women's game is honoring that more than the men's game. In that, again, without the huge spectrum of athletic talent difference, right? You don't have people jumping out of the gym. That's not a part of the game. You can't outpower. But the women's game is more true to basketball in that the rules of basketball exist in a greater plane in the women's game. Why is that? And is that good for basketball?
Well, let's put it this way. I mean, I'll make a men and women comparison, and I'll start with criticisms of some players that, and you know this, there are some players that are so athletic and so talented that they never have to develop skills. Like if you're, and this is, and by the way, I'll give you an example where a guy that gets crapped on a lot, totally unfairly, Dwight Howard. 7 feet tall, jump out of the gym, physical specimen. Everyone thought he should have averaged 40, 20, and 20. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the thing was, as a kid, Dwight Howard was bigger and stronger and faster. He never had to develop a mid-range jumper. He never had to develop a crossover. He could just go in there and grab every rebound and dunk on everybody. And so in a way, for some players, that extreme athletic ability actually holds you back because you don't get any crucible of adversity in terms of the talent against you. The first time he runs into a player anywhere near his own ability is in the NBA after he's been there for 3 years, right?
Yeah.
On the women's game, I would say height matters. I mean, whether you're tall or not tall, because no one is jumping out of the gym. Even the best athletes, in the game are not even dunking the basketball, right? So, and if they do, it's a really rare thing. It's not part of their game. And so what happens a lot of times, to be able to make great plays, female basketball players have to have more skill and more intuitive ability because they're not going to out athlete you, right? It's not like, you never said, oh, Diana Taurasi, she's going to break your ankles and then, go jump over top of you and and it's never going to happen, but she's going to make some phenomenal plays, passing, business skill. But even all of it, and by the way, Asia Wilson, the same thing. Like, is she the most dominant physical player? Is she doing it because she's just bigger than everyone? No, she's doing it because she makes amazing. I love her mid-range game. She's got that free throw line jumper that's money like clockwork. She's got a very much like I was going back to, we talked about him previously, our Kawhi Leonard. Like, she gets to her spots and gets her shots, and that's it, And so I think you got a great point there in that there's like the women's game, everyone's more equal on the athletic side. So the women that are succeeding are the women that are just more skilled. There are a lot of guys that that are phenomenally skilled players, but they're not athletic enough to play in the NBA. And so the line is, so you got to have that barrier of, are you athletic enough to guard someone in the NBA? If yes, then you get to look at all the other stuff, right? So I think you're right. I mean, it's and that's why the women's game is so much fun. And I think Caitlin Clark took that last step. Angel Reese has been great. But now Caitlin Clark is doing things skill-wise that, other than Steph Curry, name me one other player that's shooting from deep and taking the number of threes and the difficulty level of those threes like she is.
Yeah.
Sabrina does pretty well too, right? So it's like the skill level is there because it has to be. Because skill is the only thing that lets you win in the WNBA or in this Olympics too, by the way.
Yeah, I think it's a good place we'll put a pin there, but I think the big question would be, for the development of the game, what constant has to be messaged and put into the narrative so that basketball is safe?
You know what I would tell you, though, and this is my criticism of basketball everywhere in North America. This is what Europe's doing better than Canada and the USA right now. Stop with the ridiculous 7 days a week AAU team BS touring crap.
Yeah.
You play games once a week and you're in the gym practicing your skills. European players are more high. Like, you don't get Wemby if Wemby grows up in the United States. Wemby would be Ralph Sampson in the United States, okay, because he'd be playing on the circuit doing the easy thing. So I think there's a big and fair criticism of the AAU machines where they're trying to churn out draft picks and churn out college players. The business, the cottage industry that is the business around collegiate and professional players is now undermining the development of because everyone's drafting talent, everyone's drafting upside. So show you can jump out of the gym, show you can do a Steph Curry step back from a deep three, and show all these sparks of potential. And then that's what you're trying to sell to get drafted, as opposed to be a complete player now. And so that's why I think when you look at the draft, French player 18, 19, 18, like these kids are babies. And they're being drafted because they are more skilled than some of the older, less developed, maybe more athletically talented players that we have here in the States. So I think really players got to play. But honestly, I think everybody, for the first 4, 5, 6 years of your young career, let's say from 12 to 18, man, you should be in the gym 6 days a week by yourself doing skill work. Looking at what Steph does, look at what Kobe did, look what Jordan did. Look what Karl Malone did. Get in the gym and do those skills. Don't worry about scoring 50 points a game for 30 meaningless AAU games on the road, traveling, where you're not becoming a better player.
Well, one of the great ambassadors for the game, Larry Bird, always says that, practice more, play less. Like sometimes that's how the game is going to get better. We'll toward the break, come back. We'll close out the hour with Dave Turcotte here on One on One.
Stevens & Smith Construction is a full-service, employee-owned concrete company that specializes in residential and commercial foundations and flat work. They've been a leader in the concrete industry since 1971, with nearly 250 employees combining for more than 2,000 years of service. With locations in Lincoln, Omaha, and Kansas City, they're united in quality, integrity, and professionalism to create excellence in construction. Learn more today at stevensandsmith.com.
Announcing Acres' end of summer sales event. Acres has dropped its prices on select late model John Deere tractors, combines, and corn heads. Act now and upgrade your equipment before harvest season. Trade in your old equipment today and get unbelievable discounts that could save you over $100,000. With great financing options and our A+ support, there's no better time to buy. Visit your local Acres store or see the huge savings at acres.com. That's AKRS.com to see the best prices in the nation.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation right now at appliedconnective.com.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Ready to add a dash of Southern flavor to your week? At Wings and Rings, their brand new Southern fried wings have arrived for a limited time. Indulge in the irresistible goodness of large, traditional bone-in wings coated in a crispy beer batter and fried to perfection. Try them with hot honey or any other sauces. And for those busy summer days coming up, look no further than their Southern Fried Wings Family Bundle. Wings and Rings, 2 Lincoln locations on O Street or Village Lane.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
As a proud member of the Roofing and Solar Reform Alliance, Coalition Restoration stands out by providing thorough property assessments, personalized customer service, and top-notch craftsmanship. With years of experience in the industry, Coalition Restoration has built a notable reputation for having a team filled with skilled professionals and possessing the expertise to handle any roofing project, big or small. Visit their website today for a free roof assessment at www.coalitionrestoration.com or give them a call at 402-607-8186. Your business runs like a well-oiled machine. It's important that your actual machines do too. Stern is here to make sure you don't have to worry about that. They provide solutions for heavy equipment and automotive fuels, lubricants, and equipment guard options. And with Stern's commitment to customer service for the past 40 years, you know you have a partner to help support your operations for years to come. Contact Roger at Stern Company by calling 1-800-477-2744 or visit them online at stern.co. Stern Company, where problems meet solvers.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's. 435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
Liberty Law Group is committed to the defense of liberty for those accused and the pursuit of justice for those injured. Liberty Law Group's relentless trial attorneys specialize in criminal defense and personal injury law. We believe in treating every client with respect, compassion, and understanding. We know that navigating the legal system is stressful and overwhelming, but Liberty Law Group will carry that burden for you. When you're facing legal issues, make the right call. 877-42-LIBERTY. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
You're listening to One-on-One with DP, sponsored by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Final segment with Dave Turcotte. Turk, it is that thing where, and Harrison and I have the convenience that we kind of intersect with different great sports minds, life minds, people who are connected and positive in how they go about it and what they're looking for. And there are common threads and things that are said. I was asked this about you and I didn't have an answer. So now I ask you, kind sir, with your kind heart, brilliant IQ, savvy, personable, why aren't you coaching?
Because it's funny. I get that a lot. And I'm actually thinking about playing around with the idea of doing that, but really on a local, small level, just to help some kids, really. When I got done playing basketball and my career was done, basketball players typically went into coaching or communications, one or the other, right? You're either interesting personality and you can be on the sideline or with the media, or you want to be, in the coaching field. And for me, I just felt like at the time, I've kind of done this basketball thing for a long time. I'm 36 years old and I had a young daughter at the time, and I knew what coaching was going to take in terms of traveling, being on the road, being away from family. And I just wasn't willing to make the sacrifice for my daughter at that point. I had one at the time. But the other thing was I started a tech company called Stream PC. And so like I did the lawyer thing for 10 years. I knew I was going to be an entrepreneur, own my own business. So got the law degree, was working in technology, expanding my experience, and developed a couple of passion projects that I turned into businesses, and one is Stream PC that I'm running now that I'll sell next year, I hope. But it really, I got into technology startups because it was a completely different experience from being an athlete. I felt like I wanted to make a change as an athlete and kind of grow and diversify myself as a human being. And instead of staying in the sports lane and being exactly there, I kind of wanted to step left and get into a completely different challenge where I started at the bottom again. When I started out at 36, you go, wow, you're a jock with a law degree. That would be great. Well, no, it wasn't. It was, I'm a guy with a law degree that has no real local community connections. And I'm at the bottom of the ladder getting entry level opportunities as a business owner. And I thought, I'll just start my own companies. And I got a real passion for entrepreneurship and said, let's go a different way and shock the world that way. And so that's what I've done there. I had some very good luck there. And obviously I've really enjoyed the living that it's provided for me, and it continues to provide. But it's funny. It's like hoping to sell Stream PC next year. But it's one of those things where I laughed about this. If I sold my company, got all the money I wanted and all the money I could live on for the rest of my life, you know what I would do? I'd probably go coaching, and I would go back to the game. And if you had all the money in the world, you could live like you wanted to live when you were a 12-year-old boy, playing sports, hang with your friends, hang with your family, and that's all you do. And and that's what I want to do. And so really, I'm trying to make enough money and live my life in such a way that I can always live it like I'm a 12-year-old boy, and that where miracles are still possible, dreams can still come true, and all the great, wonderful things that we believe as children, we can try to make those things real in our real lives every day. So it's a weird cyclical kind of approach to my life, but lawyering, entrepreneurship, building companies, creating opportunities for other through business was something that it created a whole new way to express a lot of the stuff that you do in coaching, right? So as a CEO, I'm now coaching, but I'm just coaching engineers and technologists and other lawyers and mentoring young people in entrepreneurship. So all of those skill sets translate in every direction for everything. And so, I'm still doing it, but just not in the basketball world, but hopefully getting to do a little bit more basketball and work more with the basketball team in Canada in particular as we go forward.
Well, we're going to ride with you, bro. That is the statement of truth. 30 seconds. We've got 2 games coming up tomorrow, France and Germany. Who you got?
Germany for sure will obliterate them. I'm pretty confident in that. I mean, the Wagner brothers are just amazing. Obviously, Team USA is a juggernaut. I mean, they're like, it's going to be interesting though, because I still think the USA has been challenged, but they're going to have that one game where they almost, maybe they'll slide through without a stumble. But this is a good Final Four.
Great Final Four, and I think
Serbia could come at them again. We'll see.
Who's your gold medal winner?
Oh, USA.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah,
Turk Brothers, we'll do it again next week, bro. We'll appreciate you. Don't go anywhere. Don't punt hour with DeMornay Pearsonell. Coming up here on The Ticket. We'll be back.